All right, so let's get this full screen so we can see this better. How do I move this over? Oh my goodness. Where'd my mouse go? Good grief. All right. This is why. Hide that. How do we hide this? It's never showed up before. All right, we'll just put you all the way down here. Maybe eventually it'll go away. All right, so today we're going to be talking about mastering your sales calls and closing them with confidence. So sales calls basically are discovery calls to figure out whether or not you're a good fit to be working with someone. And they're a great opportunity to talk to these ideal clients about what it is that you do, how it is that you can help them, and be able to kind of give them a glimpse into your services. All right, so we'll jump right in. Not sure why that's not going down. All right, so what to expect on this webinar. So we're going to be talking about the different stages of investing. There is 5 different stages, and then there is a final stage. So we'll dig into that. And it's a great opportunity to know exactly where your ideal client is on this call. And when they start giving you the objections, you can figure out what stage they're in. We're going to be talking about showing up with love and how you can conquer your fears and just show up with love on the calls instead. And when you're more present with love, you are able to close your calls easier, because I don't know about you, but when I feel like someone is approaching a call and seeing me as a sale and trying to sell to me instead of just being there and just showing up with love, I don't want to work with them because I feel like I'm just money to them. So another thing that we're going to be covering is objections and how to handle them, what objections actually mean, because there's a deeper level to the objections. When people say, I don't have the money yet, or let me talk to my husband, or it's not for me, there's a deeper level to what those actually mean. So we're going to be covering those in this webinar. We'll be talking about signing your first client with flow and ease and the process of actually signing them instead of freaking out and going, oh my goodness, I got a yes, now what? And you start panicking and then you scare that client away. All right, so what qualifies me to speak on this topic exactly? All right, so I have a background in sales. I have been in sales pretty much my entire life since I could work. And I know what it's like to be the salesperson. I know what it's like to be on the other side of the sale. I know what it's like to have a good sales experience. And I know what it's like to have a bad sales experience. So I know from all levels what it feels like when you have that salesperson who's talking to you and loves you and appreciates you and wants what's best for you. And they will tell you flat out if they feel like they're not meant for you. If their product is not going to value you in any way, they're not going to push that sale any further. And they will flat out tell you, thanks for hopping on a call today, or thank you for stopping by today, but if I'm being honest, I don't think this is meant for you. And I appreciate that, because I want to know that this person who I'm talking to about investing in their services, investing in this product, I want to know that I'm being appreciated. I want to know that I'm being loved and not just treated as another sale. So if they're telling me that, I don't think it's right for you right now or at all, it makes me appreciate them even more and want to come back to them, because I don't want to be wasting my money if it's not meant for me right now. Like, you wouldn't be investing in a certain product, like say, just as an example, investing in, say a coach who works with moms, if you're not a mom. It just doesn't make any sense. But when you are a mom, you'll be able to value that service more. Or if you're investing in a course as, I don't even know, whatever, you get the point, right? We don't want to get too deep into what I am, because this webinar is about you and helping you build your business and match the energy of your ideal clients on the calls and to make that sale. So I am a sponge. I'm always learning. I'm always learning from my failures and figuring out what I can learn from them. I'm always taking courses. I'm always investing in trainings. I'm always investing in myself. And through that, I've learned all the different things that are involved in a call. So I have learned all the different personalities and how certain personalities work. And, what works for me is not going to work with someone with the opposite spectrum of personality, but I know what will work for them. And through all of my experiences in learning, I can help you with that. I have struggled. I have been uncomfortable. I have been in those situations where I get all those objections. Being uncomfortable was a second nature to me. I lived in my comfort zone, but I also lived with getting uncomfortable. So when I had these calls, I know what it's like to be super confident showing up on this call and going, oh my goodness, this is going to be the call that I'm going to close. This is going to be my first client. And then you get that objection. And you're like, what? I know what that's like. And I don't want you to continue to experience that. So let's just jump right into this training. All right. So these are some success stories that I've had just recently. And this one girl just cracks me right up. Oh my goodness. Honestly, Courtney, even just your energy shifts everything for me. I was struggling hardcore, was trying not to be too hard on myself after both calls failed. And now I feel like I'm on a better track than I was before, all from just 1 hour. I need to channel my inner Courtney. I love that. So she had these calls and she was so excited. She already got yeses from them, and then they booked their calls and they said no to her, and she felt bummed out. She's like, what did I do wrong? What happened? And so I worked through that with her, and then she was able to close her next call. And it was amazing watching her with that transformation of realizing that, you know what, it's nothing to do with her. It's nothing to do with her services. It's nothing to do with her at all. But it was to do with how she showed up on the call and how she was expecting these things on the call. And then as soon as they said no, it's like, well, your world just gets crushed, right? You get crushed and you get so excited that you're going to close this call and you're going to get this money from this client. And then suddenly you don't get it and you just feel like such a failure. And I got her out of that so she was able to show up with her calls with confidence. And actually, while we were talking about that, she ended up getting an email from someone saying, I want to work with you. How do I book a call with you? How do I get started? And that was while we were on that call, which leads to the next story, which she actually wrote this in a comment from another girl who wanted to work with me, didn't have the funds, was worried that, it just wasn't the right time, and, all those typical objections, right? And she came in and she commented on it. And it's like, sometimes you have to take those scary jumps. But Courtney's someone who will support you to transform your life entirely. She's pure magic. And I'm not just saying that. We had one conversation when I was feeling desperately low. And she picked me back up. As we were speaking, I booked one of my first ever sales calls. So her energy is powerful. Then you add her coaching and boom, I love that. And the next one is a client of mine that she ended up signing up for a 1-month Voxer coaching package with me. If you don't know what Voxer is, it's a voice messenger app you can get on your phone. And within 3 days of working with me, she signed her first client. So that's pretty amazing. And honestly, it doesn't even surprise me, because when you start believing in yourself and your energy shifts to the point where you know that you're going to close this call because everybody loves to work with you and you're amazing at what you do, then people pick up on that energy because you're vibrating so high that they have to say yes. They have to believe in themselves. So when I start transferring that energy into my clients on our calls and our voice messenger, they start to believe that too. And then boom, just like that, they sign their clients. And that's what happens. All right, so I know that you are more ready than ever to sign your first client. You have absolutely everything that you need to get started. and you just need to start. That's all you need, is just to start today. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but today. The best time to do it is now. All right, so you want to be getting on a call with your ideal client, because you can't be closing these calls if you're not getting on call with them. So let's talk about how we can get them on a call. So the first thing you want to do is you need to get over your fear of promoting yourself. And what happens with this is we have so many network marketing companies out there that are saturating our news feeds with sales posts, buy this, buy that. We have this sale on now, sign up now, and you see it everywhere. That you feel like if you promote your services, you're going to be that annoying person, and people are going to unfollow you, people are going to unsubscribe to you, people are not going to want to connect with you because you have that fear within yourself. But let's be honest here. You are always promoting. You're just not promoting yourself. If you watch a movie, if you watch a series on Netflix, if you read a good book, whatever it is, you promote it, you get excited, and you want to tell people about it, and that's the same thing, but you're not doing it for yourself. And you know within that you have an amazing service that you can offer to others, but you need to believe that. You need to believe that you are essentially holding back and giving others the freedom that you can provide for them because you're too scared to promote. So we need to get over that. So once you have conquered that fear and you jump out of your comfort zone and you're like, yes, I'm so excited. I have this amazing thing to offer. I'm ready. Let's do this. So you post about it. So what you want to be adding in your posts, you need to have a call to action, because people need to know how they can work with you. They need to know that they can book a call here, they can message you, they can email you, or however you want to promote yourself. But you need to have a call to action so people know what to do. And these can be in your posts, they can be in emails, they can be in videos. And the great thing about emails is you can actually add a signature on your emails. So you can have, Courtney Berry, happiness strategist, business coach. You can have my website, apply for coaching here. Here's my Instagram. So whatever you want to add in your signature to promote yourself, that is essentially a call to action as well, because it gives them something to do. You can add a button on your website. If you head to courtneyberry.com, which is my website, obviously, you can click on the buttons on my homepage. I think I have 3 or 4 different sections on my homepage where you can book a call with me. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk today. And another, which is my absolute favorite, is to get visible. And in order to get visible, a great way to do it is to have guest features. So people can do a live stream with you in their group. They can have you write a guest blog for their blog site. You can be a guest on a podcast. My favorite is podcasts right now. Those are totally my jam, and I have so many people that I am recording podcasts with. It's ridiculous. So those are great ways to get visible. And another one that I forgot to add on here is actually to have a call to action in your Instagram bio. So if you have Instagram, if you go to Courtney Berry Coaching, is my Instagram, I have a call to action on mine that, let's see what mine actually says. I'll pull it up on my phone right now. I don't remember off the top of my head, but on my call to action, I have, hate your 9 to 5. I did too. Now I'm a full-time entrepreneur, quit with 0 safety net. Now it's your turn. Are you ready? DM me. So they can direct message me. And then underneath that, you have the option to add links. So if you want to direct your followers somewhere, you can add a link there. And if you have multiple locations that you want people to be clicking to go to, you can have a link tree. So if you go to Linktree, and it's a website, you can add multiple links to it. So you can actually add as many as you want. And then by just clicking that one link in your bio, they have option to click multiple links. So that is another great option to have. All right, so what not to do on a discovery call? All right, so one thing you do not want to be doing for certain is panicking. because as soon as you panic, that's it, you're done. It's hard to get out of panic mode. It is so hard to get out. So you book your call, you're super excited. You're like, oh my goodness, I just booked my first sales call, my first discovery call, and then you realize, well, I've never had a call before. Oh my goodness, I've never had a call before. And then you start freaking out, and then you start going into fear, and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I can help people. Why are people going to hire me? I've never been through things they've been through. I'm only so-and-so. I'm this year's old. Like, you start going into this fear cycle, which you do not want to be going into, because people pick up on that, and it's not fun. Your inner mean girl picks up. And I'll give you kind of an experience I had with my inner mean girl, which is crazy. On Monday, I really got heavy into the manifestation game. I declared to the universe, to God, source, whoever it is you believe in, I'm a God woman. I declared to God, I'm like, okay, if this manifestation thing works, I want to have $4,000 by the end of this week. And I let go. I released it. I set the expectation, and I released, and I did the work every single day, and I just showed up every single day. Tuesday, I had a call booked from someone I don't even know, never heard of her, never met her. I don't even know how she found me, if I'm being honest. I don't know how she found me. And when I asked her, she said she found me online. I'm like, well, did you find me on Instagram? Did you find me on Facebook? Where did you find me? Well, I just found you online. So here I am. Tuesday, booked this call with this random lady. Wednesday, we had our call. I started going into that fear cycle. My mean girl started kicking in while I was on this call with this woman. This woman is 50 years old. She has been through divorce. She has kids. She's got stepkids. And like, she's telling me all these experiences that she's going through. And my mean girl kicked in right away. You bet she did. She kicked right in, and she kicked me hard. And who do you think you are to coach this woman? You've never been married. You've never been divorced. You don't have any kids. How on earth are you going to help this poor woman? How are you going to help her? Just back out right now. There's no point in even showing up for the rest of this call, because you can't help her. So I kicked her to the curb. I kicked that mean girl to the curb, and I decided to show up with love instead of showing up with fear. As soon as I did that, I just told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going to show up on this call and be the best version of myself I can. I'm going to coach this woman the best that I can and just be there for her. If I help her, great. If she wants to work with me, even better. But showing up on this call with fear is not doing anyone any good. It's not helping me. It's not helping her. This woman booked this call because she feels that I can help her. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show up with love. I'm going to show up with a service mindset, not act with sales. I'm not looking at her as a price tag, not looking at her as, I'm expecting her to work with me, not showing up with this negative energy of, what if she doesn't sign up, or just hoping that she signs up, which is bad energy as well. Just show up with love on your calls. And another bad thing to be doing on discovery calls is over preparing. When I prepare for my calls, I literally take 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes, I go through the survey that I send out, and you guys fill out before you book your calls with me, so I can kind of get an idea of where you are with your life and in your business and your mindset and where your ego is. And then after I've gone through that, I just sit there in silence, and I have my essential oils diffusing. I have I'm in my quiet space. I'm grounding myself for this call. I am getting rid of whatever is in my brain that is stressing me out, or whatever happened today is just gone. I am just 100% present on this call. I do not over prepare. Before, I used to honestly spend almost an hour preparing for every single call. I would take notes on what I need to talk to this person about, the homework that I may or may not give them, what I feel like is going on in their life. I would screen their Facebook profile, what's going on in their life right now, who are they friends with, who are they surrounded with, and I'd spend so much time digging into who these people are that I'm not showing up on the calls because I already have an idea of how this call is going to go. which is not what you want to be doing. All right, so now what you should be doing. And we kind of already covered a little bit of this in the last line, but you want to be showing up with love. You want to be pushing that fear aside. When you show up with love, amazing things happen because you're just being your best self. You're being 100% present for this person. You are acting with service instead of sales. And the big thing with this is you're asking questions. You're listening to what they have to say. And with my experience with sales, I love to be heard. I love to know that I'm being heard. And when people are talking to you on your calls and you respond to them in the same language that they use, it shocks them because we live in such a busy world where you're on your phones, you're watching what's around you, you're so distracted that when people are actually being heard and they know that they're being heard, it shocks them and they love and respect you even more because they're like, wow, this person is actually listening to what I have to say. Oh my goodness. And they get excited. But when you are talking to them, know that this is your client. This person is already ready to work with you. And get excited for them and just know that treat this person as though they've already hired you. Don't treat them as, they may or may not work with them. Holy man, am I ever fumbling over my words today. Don't treat them as though they may or may not hire you. Treat them as though they've already hired you and that you are just here to serve them. So with that being said, when you tell them what your offers and your pricing is, what I have learned is that the next person who talks after you share with them, holy man, I am so not with my words today. When you are getting the real Courtney today. When you are talking to them about your offers and your pricing, the next person to speak is buying it. So give them time to answer. You want to be pausing after you share with them what it is that you're offering them and give them time to think about it because this is a big decision for them. This is life-changing for them and it's scary to make those decisions. So now that we have covered kind of everything on what you should and shouldn't be doing, one of the next big things that I have that you should be doing is have a step-by-step process on how you run your calls and what you do on your calls. So when I do my calls, I hop on this call with them. The first 1 to 2 minutes are roughly, getting to know them, talking about each other, just getting the vibe for each other, exchanging your energy, and just raising them up. And then after we go and kind of get to know each other a little bit, play in the field, feeling it out, getting to know one another, laughing, then I jump right in and I tell them about the call and I lay it out for them and I say, this is essentially a sales call, but you know what, honestly, I'm not going to sell to you unless I feel like this is something that you truly want. I'm not going to be forcing you to make any decisions on this call unless you feel like this is meant for you. And, I give them a laydown of, we're going to talk about this and then we're going to see. And I just explain to them how my calls go. So as I'm explaining to them, after I explain to them what happens in the call, then I go through, where they are in their business, in their life, what struggles they're having, what blocks they're having. And then I share with them how it is I feel that I can help them and how we can advance going further to push them where they're meant to be in life. So as we are doing that, then I advance even further into the next step. And I ask them, okay, it sounds like you know exactly where you want to be. I've shared with you how it is that I can help you. Would you like to go even further? And would you like to know what I have to offer you? And if they say yes, then yes, we advance into the offers and the pricing. But if they say no, I'm not going to push them any further. I'm not going to force them to say yes because I want to be working with people who want to work with me. I do not want to be forcing people to work with me because that's not someone I want to be working with. It's not going to be a fun experience. It's not going to be a good experience. So then going into the next step, I will tell them what I have to offer them. All right, so we all have these stages. And there is 5 different stages of investing. There's fear, there's excitement, doubt, reassurance, regret, and then the joy and happiness stage, which is the last stage. All right, so stage 1, the fear of investing. And just to kind of give this training a feel for, something I know that majority of you have all been through. I know this is essentially going to be for coaches to watch, but I know you have experienced this, and it will give you an idea on how to use it to what you're experiencing right now. So I have used the fear cycle, the investing cycle, as me buying a pair of silver jeans. And if you've bought silver jeans, you know they're not cheap. So it's a perfect example. All right, so the fear of investing. This is the first stage. And this is after you've been presented what it is that you want to buy. So you are living in a lack mindset and prevent yourself from reaching any potential success before getting started. You do not believe you can succeed and will be wasting your money. So at this stage, I was buying this pair of silver jeans, and I was so excited about buying them. But at the same time, I have always bought $20, like, say, Walmart jeans, like super cheap jeans. They would last me maybe a month and a half at tops, because I have really big hips. So my jeans are constantly tearing, and I was always buying jeans. It was an ongoing cycle of constantly repairing my jeans. I would send them to the seamstress, and I would, spend $10 or $15, and I'd get them to put a patch on them. And then next thing you know, a week later, they would rip again, usually the same spot. And then I would just have to go buy another pair, because you can't keep repairing them at $10. I'm sure I could have, but I was past that stage. So I found a pair of silver jeans, and I know in the past I have worn them and they worked fantastic for me. They would usually last up to a year for me, but they were $140 on average for a pair. I didn't want to be spending $140 on jeans, even though this is something that I'm going to be using every single day. So I didn't want to invest. So the next step is excitement of your investment. You see the value in this investment and you start getting excited. You psych yourself up for it. You know that you can succeed. You know that it will be worth it. You know that if you fail, you're going to fail forward, and you're always going to get your return of investment, whatever it is that you're doing, because you believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you cannot fail. It is not possible to fail. Even if people are tearing you down and saying you can't do this, you go and you go right back to them and you say, no, you know what? I can do this. Just watch me. And that is the mentality you have in this stage 2, is you're super excited for this investment. So when I was buying those jeans, I pushed my fear aside and I said, you know what? I am buying those $100 jeans. I am worthy of these $100 jeans. You know what? These jeans are going to make me feel so confident. I'm going to feel so good when I'm wearing them, and I'm going to rock them. You bet I'm going to rock them. So there was my excitement in the investment, and then I bought them. So stage 3 is when you doubt the investment. So you've either already made the investment already, or you are in the process of still deciding to make it. So you realize that investing in this is irresponsible. You don't feel like you're worthy yet. You still have bills to pay. It's just not the right time for you to buy it right now, and you're not sure if it's right for you. So with that being said, when I bought those $100 jeans, I realized I still had bills to pay. So I returned the jeans. It was still within the return period. I returned the jeans, I got my money back, and I went and bought groceries, because that's the responsible thing to do, right? All right, so reassurance of the investment is the next step. You are reassuring yourself that everything will work out. You remind yourself that you're worthy and you value this purchase that you're about to make. You know the benefit, the value, everything that you're going to get from this investment is 1000% worth it. And you know that, and you realize that. So you keep telling yourself that. And you either convince yourself and you move up to the next step, or you don't convince yourself and you go back into that fear cycle and you jump right back to stage one. So with me, I didn't return the jeans. I wanted to rock them and I wanted to feel more confident than ever. So I kept the jeans. All right, so stage 5 is, this is the absolute worst stage you could possibly be in, because this is where that trauma in your life sets. This is the experiences that you have that you thought were a good idea at the time, and then you made them, and then looking back, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. That was the worst decision of my life. This is stage 5. So stage 5 is regretting the investment that you made. So you got a late fee on your bill. You had an unexpected payment. You forgot about your other needs. You forgot you still had groceries to buy. You forgot you still had to put gas in your vehicle. Whatever it is, you forgot you had to do those. You feel stupid. You regret buying it, that you didn't listen to your gut. And then you jump back into stage 1. And you know what? When you hit stage 5 and you jump back into stage 1, you are terrified to invest again because of this experience. And I have actually hopped on discovery calls with coaches who have worked with other coaches before, and they did not want to work with me because of a previous experience with another coach where they went through these stages. They hit stage 5 and then they jumped back into stage 1 because they had a terrible experience with this coach. That coach essentially ruined hiring a coach for them. And I had to work through that with them and tell them that, you know what, like, every single experience you have is going to be different. It's whether or not you choose to believe that. All right, so the final stage is the joy and happiness stage. So you feel the value of the investment. You're proud of yourself for making that investment. You can't wait to see what your next investment brings to you. This is when you've experienced the endorphins of investing and getting that return, whether it's a monetary return or it's just the feeling in itself of investing. When I've invested over $10,000 in my business, and I am always sitting at this final stage because I know the value of investing in yourself. I know when I feel like this is going to benefit me, and that is my first response within, 5 to 10 seconds of, okay, should I do this? Shouldn't I do it? If I say yes, I do it. I pull the plug and I do it. I press submit. I press send. I enter my credit card information. I enter my PayPal, and I just make it happen before my ego sets in and pushes me back and brings me to that fear cycle of, no, you shouldn't do this because you need to be responsible. You have priorities elsewhere. You're not worthy of this investment. And I jump back into the joy and happiness cycle all the time because I know what it's like to go through stage 1 to 5, and I never want to experience that again. So I actually, through my experience with investing, I created this little mantra where I give myself 5 to 10 seconds to make a decision, and if it's a hell yes, I do it. If it doesn't feel good, I don't do it, because when you give yourself a short amount of time to make a decision, it's either your fear kicking in, your ego kicking in, or it's your subconscious and your higher self. I don't know about you, but my subconscious and my higher self, I have had way better experiences with than my fear and my ego. So when you hit this stage, you're smiling more, you do better at your job, you're nailing your calls, you're signing the client, you're making the money, you're taking the trips, you're quitting your 9 to 5, you retired your husband, you're staying home with your kids, you don't have to, there's so many things that happen in this joy and happiness stage. This is the stage that you want to be in and that you want your ideal clients to be in. All right, so let's talk about objections. Our favorite part of discovery calls, why most of us are scared to make them, because we're afraid that these are going to come up. And objections are simply not right nows. I don't have the money. I will get back to you. It's not for me. I'll talk to my husband. I have too much on my plate. This is the most crucial part of the call, and this is when you're either going to make the call or you're going to break the call. And I'm going to be honest with you, these objections, some of them may actually be legitimate objections, but most of the time there's a deeper surface to why they're saying what they're saying. So let's dig into that, because that's why you're on this call, right? All right, so objection 1 is, I don't have the money. What does this mean? When you think about your experiences of when you said, I don't have the money, what does that bring up within you? It wasn't a priority. You actually legitimately did not have the money, or you didn't believe in yourself. So when you are getting the objection of, I don't have the money, make sure you are digging deep into either you didn't cover something that they needed to hear in order to put a high value on your service, or maybe they actually don't have the money and they can invest in your services right now, which if that is the case, you know what? One thing that you can do is be upfront and honest with them right up when they give you that objection and say, okay, great. I totally understand where you are. I've been there myself, but I want to know right now, do you actually want to make this happen? Or do you actually want to hire me? Make sure that if they're giving you this objection, they actually want to make it happen. Because if that is the case and they actually do want to hire you or they do want to purchase your services, if you get a yes, people buy based on emotion. So if they have that emotion going right now about how they're eager to do this, but they actually don't have the money right now, make sure you book another call with them so that you can bring those emotions up again. And then when they do have the money, they will easily give you their information to purchase your things. So another underlying reason for I don't have money is they don't believe in themselves. And that is a big one, is when they say I don't have the money, they have the money. They just don't believe they can make the money back. And that is a big thing with this objection, is if they don't believe in themselves, they're not going to make the money back. But it's your job as their coach or whatever it is that you're providing them to know that they can make the money back if they do it. So make sure that if that is the reason, you start doing some self-work with them and ask them, why don't you think you can make that money back? If you were to make that money back, how would that make you feel? And bring up those underlying emotions again on how it feels for them. Because again, we buy based on emotions. All right, so objection number 2, I'll get back to you. We all hate getting this objection because we don't know if they're going to come back to us, right? We don't know. We are not them. We are only us. So when you get this objection, figure out why they're going to get back to you. Because most of the time, I'll get back to you is, I just don't want to do it. This is just an easy way for me to, back out of this conversation. So it's, again, either a belief thing. They don't believe they can do it, so they're just, being a scapegoat and getting out as quick as they can. Or they actually are going to get back to you because maybe they want to work with you and they have to figure out their finances. They have to check the bank, make sure they have enough room on their credit card. Or maybe they have to apply for a loan, or they have to increase their credit, or, whatever it is. An objection is simply a not right now, or it's a genuine objection. So if they do want to get back to you, ask them when they're going to get back to you so you can follow up with them. All right, objection number 3. It's not for me. We've all heard this one. And with this objection, it is either a firm, no, it's not for me, which may be the case, who knows? Or they are saying it's not for me because, again, they don't think that they can make their investment back. Do you see a little bit of a pattern here? A lot of these objections are based on belief systems. If they don't believe that they can make their investment back, they're fearful of investing in themselves because they feel like they're going to waste their money because they can't make the money back. So a lot of these, you just need to do some self-work with them and get them excited about what can happen, because thoughts become things. And if you get them to believe in themselves and that they can be successful and that they can get their first client, that they can have those 10K months or 5K months or even $1,000 months, they can quit their job, whatever it is that is driving them to look into hiring you, you need to bring those emotions up with them. And if they're saying it's not for me, chances are they're saying that because they don't believe that they can do it. So make sure you are figuring out if that is actually the reason for it. All right, fourth objection. I will talk to my husband. We get that so often. I am honestly one of those people that gave that objection. And what happens with this objection is you can either walk into this conversation as the client and already have your mind made up and say, yes, I'm going to do this. I just need to, let my husband know this is what I want to do and tell him about it. Or they don't believe in themselves. Again, a belief thing. It's always a belief thing. It is your job as the coach to believe in them and get them to believe in themselves, because we all know that being a successful business owner, 80% of it is mindset. So when they say, I'll go talk to my husband, they are either telling their husband that this is what I want to do, I just want you to know, or they are running to their husband to escape and have them say no because they don't believe they can do it and they want their husband to say no. So what you can do to avoid this objection, and I love doing this, especially for my ideal clients who are married, is when we start this call and I jump in to tell them the outline of the call, I say, great, awesome, is there anyone else that needs to be on this call with you that will, be making the decision for you? And if they say no, which I've never had anyone say yes yet, then what's going to happen is they will actually, when they say, I'll talk to my husband, you can bring that objection back to them and say, no, you know what? When we hopped on this call at the beginning, you said you make the decisions. So let's dig into this. And then you can go do some self-work with them again. But it all comes down to belief and believing in yourself. And 80% of it comes down to mindset. All right, so our last objection is I have too much on my plate. What this means is either, again, a legit objection. They do have too much on their plate, which I know if someone was to approach me right now, I would use this objection as legitimate objection because I would be losing it. I would be burnt out. I would be overwhelmed. I'd be stressed. I'd probably go into depression because I have too much right now. If I add just one little more thing, it would be so much for me to handle. All right, so what that can be is I have too much on my plate because of this, or it's a time management thing. They don't know how to manage their time properly. And a lot of the time, our time is being used scrolling on Facebook, going through notifications on Instagram, checking our emails. How much time do you think we waste doing that? I know when I first started coaching, a lot of my time was scrolling through Facebook in the morning. I'd wake up, I'd roll over, I'd grab my phone, I'd slowly wake up, and as I'm slowly wake up, an hour and a half later, oh, wow, half my day is gone. So make sure if it's a time management thing with them that you're going through what going through what they spend their day on. And I love to assign homework for those who give me this objection. And I say, for the next day, I want you to track. And even if you're not able to track, just be aware of where your time is going. So if you are sitting on Netflix binging, watching a series for, 2 or 3 hours, write that down and say, I spend too much time on Netflix. If you're scrolling through Facebook in the bathroom while you're taking a dump, I spend too much time on Facebook scrolling. Just be aware of where your time is going and where their time is going. All right, so are you ready to sign your first client? I am excited for you. All right, so what to do when you get a firm yes? You need to celebrate them. You need to congratulate them, and you need to finalize the deal. You need to be treating every single yes as though it's your first yes. You need to get excited for them, because if this is, an extra client that you're getting a month that you weren't expecting to get, that you really didn't care that you get, that energy is going to come off in the call, and they're not going to want to work with you, because if they're picking up on that, they're not going to feel like they're valued by hiring you. So celebrate them. Take the time to acknowledge that with them. I love to send out little welcome packages. I send out a personal video because I'm a video girl, and I love to send those out to my clients. I love to send little packages in the mail, and I just love to celebrate and welcome them and congratulate them on their success. All right, so what you need to have prepared for your calls, you need to know your prices. You need to know if you're offering pay plans. So if you have, a client who wants to work with you, but they ask you, do you do payment plans? You need to have that answer up front instead of hesitating, because this is the point in this call where you are showing up as the expert. You can't go, yeah, I guess we can do a payment plan, or I guess I can probably work something out for you. You need to be firm. You need to know up front, yes, I do offer payment plans. I offer this much a month, this much biweekly, or we can do 3-pay plan of this. You need to know these up front. And another thing you need to know is, do you have a deposit? So if you get a yes from a client and they can't give you the money right away, do you offer a deposit with them for a certain amount to hold their spot? You need to know that up front. I do a $750 deposit for my packages, or I do half up front for, you're banging around. Where is that? Someone banging somewhere. Ooh, no idea what that is. All right, so you need to have real life here happening. You need to have a contract ready. This is, oh my goodness, this is so distracting. I'm sorry. Real life happening over here. You need to have a contract ready. You need to know that this may not happen, but in case it does happen, you're covering your butt. Okay, I gotta see what is going on. This is driving me nuts. Now I have dogs barking in the background. I don't even know how to pause this. All right, well, real life happening over here. We're just gonna try to ignore the barking and the banging. Of course, that happens when I'm doing a webinar. All right, so you need to have everything ready. How do I full screen this again? All right, so congratulations, you just signed your first client. It really is that simple, guys. There's nothing to it. And a lot of people are getting so tense and so stressed out about the process of this, when really it's just hopping on a call with a friend. It's just showing up to be there for someone. It's showing up to be of service with your expertise. It's showing up with the gift that God gave you to share with others. And it's not hard. It's so easy to sign clients when you know it's step by step. And I know that I was always complicating it before. I had to have a website. I had to have the webinars. I had to have the landing pages. I had to have the email list. I had to have this. I had to have that. And you know what? All you need to have is yourself and a way to reach out to your clients. Have Facebook, have Instagram. There, done. You signed your client. Get them on a call. Like, it's that simple. So if you're ready to take the next step after you have decided, okay, I'm going to sign this next client. This is happening for me. I'm ready. Let's do this. I want to give you the option so that if you do want to go forward with this, you have a coach to support you on this journey. All right, so I have a 6-month one-on-one mentorship. It is going to be $10,000 in 2018. Right now in 2017, it's currently $7,000. This package is for the boss babes who are extremely motivated. They're determined, they're ready to go all in. They know that this is happening for them. This is the only option. They're not letting failure happen. They're ready. They are ready. And if this is for you, I will be providing you with insight into why your business isn't working for you yet and sharing you a personal intuitive insight profile. So I create a PDF for you personally on your strengths, your weaknesses, your mindset blocks, and where you should be focusing. And during the 6 months together, we'll be covering money mindset, social media strategies, packaging your services, systems to grow and manage your business, and more. This package is based on your needs. Whatever it is that you are focusing on right now that you need to have the growth in your business, we are going to be focusing on. But those are just some examples of what we can cover in the 6 months. And as you grow, our services together are going to be growing as well. So we're going to be up-leveling your money mindset, up-leveling your strategies, up-leveling your pricing in your packages. So whatever it is that you need during this mentorship, we are going to be focusing on. So there's no set structure. It is what you need specifically. All right, so the 3-month package is essentially the same thing. It's just 3 months. And these are for the boss babes who are motivated. They're still determined and ready to go all in, but they're not quite ready to invest in a 6-month service. So you're going to be getting the same things just for the 3 months. And this is $5,555 in 2018. And currently it's $3,333. All right. So I have a 1-month voice coaching mentorship as well. And that is currently $600 and will be $1,200 in 2018. This package is for you if you're not quite ready to make a big investment, but then you need the ongoing coaching support. This is for those who are struggling with their mean girl. Their mean girl's always defeating them and they're dealing with burnouts, overwhelmed with what they have going. They're stressed out. They're kicking their tires trying to get their business going and they can't figure out what it is that is not working for them and why they're not successful. You're doing all the inner work. You're doing the journaling. You're doing the affirmations. You're getting on calls with your clients and you just can't figure out what you're missing. This is a great package for you if you're not quite ready to do a full investment for a 3-month or a 6-month. So we're going to be covering your fears and your limiting beliefs. We'll be going through your mindset and having those emotional breakthroughs and getting your business off the ground so that when you are finished with this package, you've already signed the client so that you can sign up for a 3-month or a 6-month and you're not worrying about the funds because you know it's an investment. You know that you're going to have the support and you know that it's worth it. So you'll be getting essentially the same thing, but you will be getting the voice coaching instead of the one-on-one calls. So you will have Voxer support, which is a voice coaching app on your phone and is basically like Facebook Messenger, but it's an app. So you're still going to be getting the intuitive insight profile. You'll still be getting that, and you'll just be getting the voice coaching instead of the one-on-one calls. All right, so if you are ready to believe in yourself and to believe in your dreams, you can apply for the one-on-one opportunities. I do have a limited amount of opportunities available because I do have a lot of people who want to work with me right now. So if you are ready, if you are absolutely all in, ready to believe in yourself, ready to believe that you can quit your 9-to-5. I quit my 9-to-5 with no coaching clients and I made it work, and I know that you can make it work too. If you're ready to believe in yourself so that you can have that luxurious lifestyle that I know you're dreaming of, or retire your husband, maybe even just have that $10,000 month so that you can take your family on a Disney vacation or just take a vacation somewhere. Maybe you haven't been on vacation for a while. Whatever it is, are you ready to believe in your dreams? Are you ready to make it happen? So if that is you and if that is screaming at you and you feel like we're a good fit, you can apply for a one-on-one opportunity. You can hop on a discovery call with me. Even hopping on the discovery call will give you kind of an insight into how I run these calls, and maybe that'll help you. Who knows? But if you are ready, make sure you head to CourtneyBerry.com and you apply for your call. So thank you for hopping on this training. I wish you all the best. And for those of you that are going to hop on a call, I can't wait to chat with you. All right, so let's figure out how to end this here. Stop share, stop recording. Yay, we did it. Mwah. Thank you for hopping on, guys. Love you.